Hey loves, Kim here, and I'm back with another video. So this is part 2 of the Fall Festival build. If you haven't seen part 1, I'm going to link it down in the description box below and also probably somewhere on the screen. Definitely check out part 1, that way this part would make more sense to you. But if you have already seen part 1, let's go ahead and talk about this. So in part 1, we just basically laid out a lot of the structural elements, just like our main areas, like our stage, this gaming tent that we're building here now, I believe, like our kind of like arcade game area, as well as bumper cars. And in this part, we're just kind of finishing all of those things off, just making everything make more sense and actually look like the finishing product. I had so much fun creating this, but y'all, I can't even lie, I'm so glad that I'm done building this. I've been working on this fall festival for about, I would say about 4 days now, and of course that's been on and off, you know, in between me handling things in my regular life and then working, but that is a long time. And like I said in my first video, every time I build on this lot, it's always a multi-part video affair. Like, I could never just do this and get it done in one video, but one day I will, but today is not that day. So yeah, we are working on the stage right now. We're just sizing it down because the stage, it was huge, and it was unproportionately huge. Like, honestly, maybe once we get the Get Famous expansion pack, it will be better to have a bigger stage. But for now, I was just thinking this is like a local county fair, so I don't need a stage taking up all of that space, and it also gives us more space for Sims to sit down and actually watch their entertainment. So yeah, that was my main goal. Throughout this build, the main color schemes were more on kind of like the warmer tones, so definitely deeper reds, yellows to oranges, and then also browns. That was my theme throughout. Now I'm inserting these pumpkins. So last year I did a 2-part build. It was the countryside pumpkin patch, I believe that's what it was called. If you're interested, it's one of my first videos that I did. So yeah, you can really see the progress from then into now. But yeah, back then I saved this room called just pumpkins, and I think it's like over 200 pumpkins on this property. So if you don't have the best performance computer, I know I don't have the best performance computer, I do apologize in advance for any lag that you may be experiencing, but there's more than enough pumpkins to give the effect. So if you wanted to delete some, go ahead, it won't hurt my feelings. Do what works best for your game. But yeah, I wanted to add these pumpkins from the Spooky Day pack because I just feel like pumpkins are such a fall staple. It is a must, and I don't know, it just really brings the season home for me. I personally love pumpkins. I don't eat a lot of pumpkin byproduct like pumpkin pie or anything like that. I like sweet potato pie, but that's that's another subject for another day. But I say that to say that I feel like pumpkins are such a fall staple, especially around Thanksgiving and Halloween. Of course, with the pumpkin byproducts, which I was talking about before, and then with Halloween, the jack-o'-lantern. So I definitely wanted to incorporate that in this build. Now I'm just adding some of these trimmings. I believe it's called Thousands of Years, and it's just basically a floor trim that came with the Get Together pack, and I like it because it just makes, I don't know, it just makes the ground look a little bit more polished, a little bit more complete. And yeah, now I'm just going in with the terrain paint and just polishing everything off. I think that's the main theme in this, just polishing, making sure everything looks nice and cohesive. And boy, do I spend a lot of time on this. There was quite a few things that I did off camera, just like little things like play testing and adjusting things. And I don't know, I kind of figured that you guys wouldn't be too interested in that. Let me know if you all like when people play test their builds on camera. For me, I don't feel like it's necessary, but I mean, definitely if you're interested, I would consider doing some of that. And now I'm just adding in some of these flags that came with the Get Together pack, if I'm not mistaken, at some of the attractions. And it's at this point where I decided to give kind of like the dunk challenge area a roof, only because I felt like it was just kind of awkward not having a roof. I don't know why that would be awkward to me. I guess in my mind, I didn't want anybody to throw the basketball too far and it would be like outside of the fairgrounds, even though I know in my head that's not gonna happen. That's not how the Sims work. Just, I don't know, I guess aesthetically, I don't know. I think the main reason why I added a roof is because I wanted to add some signage, just some kind of bold signage similar to where it is at the gaming area over the hoop area. So yeah, that was my goal with that. Now I'm adding in some of these little, I don't even know what you would call it. I guess it's bunting, or are they considered banners? I don't know. I think bunting is the one that it's like a bunch of little fabrics connected by a string. So I am not entirely sure, but they came with seasons, and I'm embellishing the stage with these big lights that came with City Living. I sized them up and I just kind of stacked them on top of each other to give a cool looking effect. I'm using these black curtains that came with the Dine Out pack to kind of disguise the fact that the back of the stage is just a regular wall. I'm just trying to make it look a little bit more fancy and give it a bit more interest. And here I'm adding in tons of lights everywhere. Like, I just wanted this place to sparkle and glow at night. And I don't know, like I said in my first video, just creating this fairground, it really took me back to my first job when I was working at a theme park, and just kind of ending my day and it was nighttime and just seeing all of the lights from the games and the rides. Like, it just, I don't know, it does something to me. I really have an affinity for lights, and especially when things are illuminated at nighttime. So yeah, here we are kind of working in this back area. I guess this will be more suitable for like your more mature crowd. So I got a couple of, oh gosh, aka bubble blowers. I never used one of these in real life, but I have friends that have and they like it, and I felt like this was appropriate at kind of like a fall festival type theme. Like maybe whatever vendor is set up back here, like they just have some new products that they want to test out, or maybe just promote like a brick and mortar restaurant or lounge. So yeah, that was kind of my whole thought process in that back area there. Now I'm just adding in some trash cans, and at first this was a national park lot, but I would play test it and notice that nobody would show up, so I changed it to a regular park, and a trash can was required. Now I'm using these little, I don't think they're actually bricks, but they kind of look like bricks. They're actually in the buy debug option, and they are base game items. So even if you don't have any of the packs, these should show up, but don't 100% quote me on that because it is a debug item, so I'm not entirely sure how that works. Also, if I haven't mentioned it already, you might want to be sure to use the move objects on cheat. I use move objects on a whole lot throughout this build, and I would hate for things to kind of shift around on you once you place it into your game. But yeah, I'm just adding in, well, not really adding in, I'm moving around the pumpkins to kind of fill in the space, and I'm polishing everything off with these little bricks, if that's even what they're actually called. So yeah, now yeah, I'm just still finishing it off. I will probably say the thing that I'm most happy about in this whole build, there's so many things to choose from, but I really enjoy how the kind of ride came out, like the, I guess, acrophobia type ride. I really like how that came out, and although it's not a usable object, it's really nice to look at, especially at night. And I really enjoy some of the landscaping. Now I did create this during the summer season, so in fall things changed ever so slightly. Some of the shrubbery is a little bit darker, and some of the trees, they're kind of like in the midst of their leaves falling off, but the colors, oh, I live for the colors. And that's why I love seasons so much, because I feel like it was such a game changer, just like the different color spectrums that is provided, like with the different lighting and the different, you know, just how the day moves. Like in the summer the days are longer, and as it's getting colder the days are shorter, and just the spectrum of colors that show up in the sky. I am absolutely living for it. Sorry about my little tangent there, but I love seasons. I really love seasons, and I was so happy to integrate a lot of items from seasons within this build. I love these lanterns here, and I like how they have so many different varieties, and they can either be holiday appropriate or season appropriate. So I felt like, since this is a fall festival, I wanted to go with the kind of orangey brown lanterns with the leaves, and I don't know, I just felt like it was perfect for the look and feel that I was trying to go for. Now I'm just in the debug menu again, looking for items. I'm pulling out some firework batteries, which is basically like a big stack of fireworks, and I just felt like what a perfect way to end the night than the fireworks. So I definitely wanted to add those. Also, I'm adding some lockers around, because I know at the theme park I worked at, if you didn't want to carry your things around, you could just pop it in the locker. You know, you will pay whatever fee, and then you will have storage for your items all day. That way you don't have to worry about lugging around your purse, or, you know, trying to keep up with your keys, or wondering, you know, if something's going to fly out of your pocket, or, you know, somebody going to try to pickpocket you. So yeah, I definitely wanted to add in some lockers, and those lockers came with base game, if I'm not mistaken. I think anyway, so my heart was entirely broken. So as you can see, I am adding in a whole bunch of piles of leaves. I was like, yes, honey, this will be perfect. Just, you know, it's fall time. There's all of these leaves. We don't really have hay in the game, so this is a great way to just kind of show that this is like one with nature, and, you know, the elements are really making their stamps, and it's making the whole lot more beautiful. But I was play testing it, and then everything was good. I was just about to upload this lot to the gallery, like no lie, just about to upload it. And then all of a sudden I saw all of this green smoke coming from the piles of leaves, and apparently they spoiled or went bad. And I've spent literally like an hour and a half having my sim manually clean it up, because for some reason in build and buy mode I was unable to just delete them. So my sim had to pick them up, and I had to move all of the bricks and everything out of the way so they would be able to access those leaves. So yeah, that was that. This is a special area that I was talking about in the first video for your little ones. This is like the story time corner, and I'm so in love. And because I love you guys so much and I wanted to give you all the best content, I decided to break down and get the kids room stuff. Now, I was reluctant to get that pack because I don't really play with families too often. I don't really play with children too often, and the items in it as a whole didn't necessarily suit my fancy. But what I did want, and probably the only thing that I really wanted, was this whole puppeteer station, and the animations are so cute. Like, oh my goodness, like I just wish that we could have shipped this with another pack. Not to say that it's a bad pack, it's just not a pack for me, but that whole puppeteer station was definitely a must, and I knew that's something that I wanted to do for the children. You know, I've said this so many times before, I just feel like a lot of the times the children and the teens, well, just youth in general, they kind of get left out of the whole creative process because we have so many items for our adult Sims, and we do have items for kid Sims as well, but the lot types aren't necessarily geared towards children's Sims or younger Sims. So I wanted to create a special place just for them, especially since it's around Halloween, and you know, it's just getting them in the spirit, and you know, the whole costume thing and trick-or-treating and all of that. So I wanted a special space for your little Sims, and hopefully you all love it because I adore it. It just completely steals my heart away. Now we are on top of the bumper cars area, and I'm adding in a bunch of these flags. That's just another thing that I've seen a lot with bumper cars. Now I think we are about to get the seating situated for in front of the stage, and we're just going about bouncing back and forth between the stage and like the toddler area. But I really love these logs that came with Outdoor Retreat, and I didn't know that they kind of snapped together. Now hopefully I didn't play test these, I just kind of assumed that it would work, but I don't think that there will be much of an issue since they are kind of snapping together on their own. But yeah, I just really like, you know, larger groups of people being able to sit next to each other, and I felt like the wood at this fall festival was definitely perfect. Now I'm just switching up the little vendor booths a little bit. I add in a space for kind of like a massage. It made me think about how in the mall sometimes people who perform massage services will be kind of like in the middle of the aisles and offering free like 2 or 5 minute massages, however long it is, before they introduce you to their products and things like that. So I wanted to switch up the vendor space a little bit like that. Now I'm just adding in some more finishing touches, deciding how I want to do the roof on the bumper cars area, and of course adding in some more of these speakers. And I felt like the station that came with the kids room stuff, I believe it's called Tween Pop, I felt like it was perfect by the bumper car, so I was fortunate enough to get a new station. I guess that's something else that I enjoyed about the pack. And I found a couple of those puppets just a bit ago, and I sized them up, and they're kind of like characters in my mind, just something to entice the Sims to see what the story time is all about. Now I am just adding in just a couple more interactive things for your Sims to do. So I got that little canopy from the toddlers pack, and I'm changing out the regular eating tables with the tables that came with City Living. I love the fact that they are painted, and although I don't have a whole bunch of variety in the color scheme that I was looking for, I had enough to mix and match to where they were a bit more unique and had more interest. And this area that I'm working on now, I would think that it's just kind of like a place for people to kind of sample food and drinks. Like, I just wanted a lot of different things for your Sims to do. And as you just saw, I moved that big canopy over to like the adult area. And I also managed to add in a festival swag booth. Now, I'm not sure if you have to hire a vendor like the food stalls. If so, it is 100 simoleons. Go ahead and do it if you're trying to put together a machinima and, you know, just cheat it back in your account. You know, it's nothing. Just do it. Because I know I will. But yeah, I don't have a video tour for this one. I do plan on doing a machinima, and I put it, I did a post on Twitter to ask people to submit me stems, so if you can, definitely do that. And yeah, I'll put all of that in the description box below if you can. But anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps me out a lot. It lets me know what you like, and you know, let's just spread the love and, you know, grow the family. Definitely you can find me on my social medias. My Instagram handle is Simply-Nisey. I post up my thumbnails and a couple things from my personal life. And definitely follow me on Twitter. That's where, you know, your guys' opinions comes in the most, and that's where I get a lot of my input. And the simming community is great. My Twitter handle is Simply-Nisey YT, and if you want to download more of my builds, find me on the gallery. My origin ID is Simply-Nisey. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye guys.